David, after the game today, we talked a lot about the offense. How did you see them just stringing together, talking about finding different ways to use Peralta and ultimately, hopefully, finding something to build off of?
Well, tonight was probably the best offensive performance we've had in a while. I thought just good at bats, some slug in there, some walks, and against a really good pitcher in Freddie Peralta, and also even Koenig to take some really good swings right there to put the game, make the game closer, make it somewhat of a game. I thought that was good, seeing some life. Unfortunately, we still came up short. Tonight was one of those nights where the offense showed life, and just on the pitching side, we just didn't do a good job tonight.
Or whether it was Emmett or some of the other guys?
I thought with Emmett, the command wasn't consistent. I didn't think his slider was particularly good tonight when he used it to right-handers, to left-handers. Try to squeeze another inning out there, but then, when he couldn't put Collins away, I just felt that was enough that he had left and trying to keep this game close. As far as Caspi, I don't think he was sharp tonight. The 0-2 hit to Churio, and just overall wasn't really sharp. And, Trevino leaving a cutter up to, I think it was Ortiz. And so we just couldn't minimize damage and give our offense a chance tonight. And so sort of uncharacteristic with the pen recently, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So, we got to kind of reset and find a way to put together a complete game tomorrow.
Do you take a bigger meaning from this when one team beats you 5 times?
Probably not. They're playing as good as anybody in baseball right now. They clearly have our number. Tonight we certainly scored some runs, but we haven't beaten these guys. So I think right now we're not going to see these guys after tomorrow until potentially October. So we just got to win a game and try to find a way to salvage the series and get ready for the Twins. And like I said, the most important thing for me, regardless of opponent, is we got to play a complete game. So yeah, you don't want to lose 5 in a row to one team, but it's where we're at.
There were a couple plays in right field that weren't made, could have been made. Teoscar, I'm talking about the triple into the gap and the home run into the front row. Seems like maybe with a couple steps more speed you could have got there.
I didn't look at the homer, but the one in the terrain, that ball's got to be a double. That ball's got to be cut off. It can't be a triple. And then the other one late turned into a triple as well, or, a double with an air, whatever it was. So those are little things that just can't happen. Baseball pitching is tough enough, hitting is tough enough, but the defensive part of it, throwing to the right bases, cutting the ball off, getting it in, not turning a double into a triple, that stuff can't happen.
For the steps the offense took, how tough was that sequence at the end of the third to not get the runner home? And then especially when it's followed right by that home run.
Yeah, it's we had our chances, and Andy takes a called third strike. That got a good part of the plate that he has a chance to do something in that at bat, and then we take a first pitch heater and hit a grounder with the infield in, and then Tommy flies out. So when you're not going well, you're scuffling to try to find a game. Those little things certainly always kind of show themselves.
Better swings from Tommy tonight. How much would it mean if he could build on this and get going again?
It's good. It's good. I thought he took some good swings tonight. The ball down below, I thought he did a good job, staying off of it, got some balls up, rode out a changeup or a curveball or something like that for the homer, which is a really good swing. So it was good to see him show some life. He's been kind of scuffling as well recently. So hopefully, he can build on that tomorrow. And there's going to be some cutters and some change-ups and some sinkers from Quintana, so he's got to, kind of have the same game plan and try to get the ball up tomorrow.
29, do you think the ankle and the toe later, maybe had anything to do with it, or is there anything else?
It's hard to say, but it is fact that he and Teo, once they had their injuries, that they haven't been good since their injuries, and, they can feel good and say they feel fine, want to post, and certainly are playable, but and they're not going to make any excuses. But yeah, from those two injuries, they just haven't been the same. So hopefully, with the break that we just had, hopefully, and I think Teo's been taking some really good swings. We haven't seen a ball like that in a while to right center field, so that was encouraging. And hopefully, those 4 days off for both those guys did them some good.
Slider within it, how much of that is just not setting up well enough with some of the uncompetitive pitches he threw in there versus just not executing on the actual?
I think it's both. I think that, when you're behind the plate and you have a pitcher that's not commanding the fastball, and then you're trying to get them off the heater and you're getting into some tougher counts, and then you're trying to, incorporate something else. And then when the slider's not teethy or depthy, then, sometimes, Will can be feeling like he's got one arm tied behind his back, and that's a tough thing. So I think in totality tonight, Emmett just wasn't as sharp as he has been the last 3-4 outings.
Shohei hit 2-run home runs and then RBI single today. And then could you talk about his swing?
Shohei's doing well. He's I think he's very mindful of where our team is at right now, and he's trying to. I feel he's trying to will his way to kind of getting us over the hump, and he's competing. He's taking really good at bats, and he's fighting. And so I love what he's doing, and just missed another homer late. But, and he also lined out to the first baseman another at bat. So across the board, very good. And I see his focus really increase, trying to pick everybody else up.